you've ever been really sick, chronically or acutely ill, you know what it feels like to be dying. That's a thing, you know, when your body cells are dying off faster than they're regenerating. The body has this miraculous balancing act of regenerating new cells at the same rate that the old and damaged ones are discarded until it goes wonky for some reason or other. And then we can see ebbs and flows. The doctor talked about perfect apoptosis to the imbalance of cellular senescence. I don't know. It's just my layman's interpretation. But if you've ever been so ill you thought you were dying, you may have been on a cellular level. I unalived 10 days before this video. It wasn't the first time, but the aftershock was definitely the roughest. Unalived, that's a code phrase you have to use on YouTube because apparently the algorithm doesn't like us talking about the single inevitable conclusion to all things. You know, can't be a Debbie Downer here. Personally, since it's on the proverbial horizon for all of us, I think we should talk about it more. Looking at the state of my hair in the mirror, I can tell it's been a rough time for my cells and body systems lately. You know, long before modern science built machines and laboratory methods to accurately gather forensic evidence, the ancient folks just used visuals and feel of a person's hair to evaluate that person's well-being. They could notice nutritional deficiencies and imbalances, could tell if someone was exposed to toxins, poisons, if they'd endured trauma or stress. I can see it in my hair, not just in the lack of hair, but in the texture and the color. Did you know that there have been some new science discoveries that have made a connection between hair, the nervous system, and the release of hormones in the human body? Turns out that hair is connected to a nerve ending, and that those connections to the nervous system affects the hormones and how they're released and when they're released and how much of them are released. This can have a powerful effect on how hair grows, if it grows, what the character traits of the hair are, the length, the tenure, the thickness. Cells in the hair follicle can actually release serotonin. You get feel-good vibes, you know, like when someone strokes your hair, it has a full-on body impact. Your hair's reaction to your environment can also trigger the release of histamines and cortisol. Science is researching this sixth sense ability of hair and how it relates to sensitivity disorders and inflammation imbalances. I don't think many of us here need any scientific documentation to show us the link between environmental stressors and biological conditions and how they relate to hair loss. I think that's how a lot of people come to the wig world, actually, is through some sort of health situation. And what's interesting is it's a broad expanse of different health situations, different crises, different toxins. But that connection to our hair is something that unites a lot of us. That connection to health and loss of hair connects a lot of us. I think the fact that so many of us are sharing similar experiences with our hair, even though we have vastly divergent health issues, is what made me want to come and talk about this today. You know, 10 days ago could have been the end for me, but it wasn't. And I'm telling you, when I got up to film this video today, when I made this decision, I didn't feel any different. Still felt really bad. But something in me sparked. Something that said, well, if you're not dying, I guess you better get up and start living. And I think there's a lot of us who live that way. And I'm here with you if you have that experience, if you have those days, those moments. There are age-old stories about the power held within the hair and how cutting the hair can lessen a person's power. I don't know about that, but I do know that science has proven to us that hair keeps a record. It remembers things. They can use it to tell you what kind of stuff has gone on in your life and when it happened. It's like this constant connection to all those past experiences that we carry around with us. I think that's why you often see people tear up at having their hair cut, removing that positive record that's held in their hair. That might actually be emotionally painful. But maybe the opposite is true. Maybe when the baggage of the past begins to weigh heavy, or when the hair receptors are firing panic signals to the nerves through the brain, because the body has moved from the regular balance of cell death to cell regeneration into an imbalance, into a chronic or acute health condition. When I need a peaceful resolve in the midst of this ongoing storm, that's when I go for the buzz. And I can feel a change.